A lot of you have asked me how I breed the plecos, what caves do I use, and today we're talking about just that. I got some of the caves I use and have used in the past, and I also got a bunch of new caves in the mail today that we're taking a look at and doing a little unboxing and review of. I feel like it's been forever since we've been here in the fish cave, sitting here at our old table and chair, so it's nice to be back. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and be sure to like this video if you enjoy it. I'm excited to jump into this box because we got some nice fancy pleco caves, guys. I'm really excited to take a look at these because I think they're going to be the best of both worlds, whereas they're going to be functional and look cool / natural / not an eyesore. So I'm really excited. I haven't tried these out. These are from Pleco Ceramics. They hooked us up big time, guys. So big shout out to them. But I want to talk about what I've been using and some of the pros and cons of the caves over here. Now, we'll talk to this in a second. This is probably the cave that I've been using the most, and the biggest thing I like about it is the D shape. You see how it's not a complete circle, it's not flat or narrow, it's got this D shape. It's kind of flat across the bottom and round over top. That is what I like about these caves. I found that when I'm using a cave, the biggest thing, people talk about color, the length, the size, those are all important, but the shape, in my opinion, for ancestors, bristlenose plecos, this D shape is what I've had the most success with. If we're talking about size, I like to use, these are about 1.5 inches long. The opening on the front is about 1.5 inches wide. I find that these work best for your ancestors pairs that are just starting off to, maybe not fully grown. If you got some larger, full-grown ancestors pairs, maybe you could step it up to a 2-inch, 2.5 inch cave. But you don't need anything gigantic. Since I've been having a ton of babies and growing up some additional pairs to spawn, I've needed some more caves. And unfortunately, I couldn't find this cave anymore. This cave in this size and this color was not available. I had also heard about these, which are watering spikes essentially you can buy. So I figured, let me check out these. The biggest benefit of this is the price. You can get a 6-pack, I think, for like less than 20 bucks. Well, that 6-pack turned into a 4-pack because 2 of them came broken. The cost went up right there. When I tried to do a return with Amazon, it was this long-winded thing where you couldn't return partial, and I didn't want to send these back right away, so I ended up just eating it and keeping the 4 good caves for the full price. At the end of the day, I've had these in my tanks for a few weeks now, and haven't had any breeding activity in them. I'm not saying that that you won't have any success. I'm just saying that I haven't had the best success. I'm not sure if it's because of the hexagon shape. I mean, it's a very similar size, so I can see why. The length is very similar. The back end's a little different, and I know people have had success with these. I just haven't yet. Like I said, it's been about a month, maybe longer, actually, that I've had these in the fish cave, and yeah, just no success with these so far. I want to talk about these two, not for bristlenose plecos. This would be a really bad bristlenose pleco or pretty much any pleco cave. But if you have cichlids, whether it's African cichlids or in my case, dwarf cichlids, apistogramma, I just got 4 apistogramma hongsloi and 4 apistogramma, I'm not really sure what species they are, but I want to eventually breed those as well. So I was looking for some caves, and the only caves I really have are these, which aren't the best because it's got 3 openings and it's very they can't really defend it that well, right? Maybe you could put this against the back of the tank, but it's just not designed for that. Also, it's very gritty and rough, and it's kind of, I feel like it's not smooth, and it's not the worst looking rock I've ever seen, but it's not that natural looking. Speaking of natural looking, let's jump into these caves from Pleco Ceramics, and really cool guys. They hooked us up. I'm gonna have a link in the description. From now until December 10th, you're gonna get 20% off. If you follow that link, you'll get 20% off all of their products. The link will take it off automatically in the cart. This is just their normal Pleco cave, size small. I want to compare it to the cave that I was previously buying and using. Yeah, I mean, these are cool, dude. These are really cool. I'm not sure how they get it. So if you look at this, it looks like a natural wood. I'm not sure how they how they get it to look like this, if all of them are exactly unique or they're a little different. But anyway, as you can see, it's a little shorter. So once again, maybe best for your smaller pairs. If you look at the shape of the cave, very similar, a little more flatter D. I'm excited to give it a try and see if these work. Color, very similar, kind of a little darker. However, as you can see, this is kind of just like plain Jane, whatever. And this is really neat looking. Like this is just, it's just cool. Like I said, I'm not sure if these are handmade or they all are unique or what, but I'm excited to give these a shout or a shot. I'm really excited to see some of the other caves in here. That's just like, this is like their basic. This is the basic as they get. But let's see what else we got here. I'm not exactly sure. They reached out to me and said, hey, you know, we saw you got a bunch of plecos. They saw my video and wanted to know if I could use some caves. Little did they know, I was in the market for some caves. Oh wow, so they hooked it up. They hooked it up. Sheesh. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is the escape log in medium. I'm not sure we'll go through all of these. Maybe we'll just open up a few and then plop them all out and talk about them. Let me talk about packaging first. Because when I got these, you know, some of them came broken. I don't know if you can look at this. You know, these are packaged really well individually. This one's got bubble wrap on it. I'm sure they take care of you if something did happen, but the packaging seems to be really well. This is pretty neat. This is actually better than I was, you know, thinking they'd look in person. I did check them out online when they reached out to me. I've heard of their product before, but I did, you know, do a little research and take a look at them to see if there was something I would be interested in, and it definitely was. And I'm excited to get them in here. This is their, I think it's an aquascaping, what's it called, a scaping log, like a tree trunk, but it's pretty neat. It may not be the best cave in terms of breeding because it is kind of open-ended, but I've seen plecos use open-ended stuff, and you can also just put it up against the back. But this is really cool. I feel like a week or so in the tank and you wouldn't even realize this is fake. Let's look at this big box. The tree trunk cave. I feel like it's Christmas morning and it's only November. Yeah, this one's big. This one is definitely big. Yeah, these things are really well done. I'm assuming they're all made of ceramics because the company's called Pleco Ceramics. Yeah, it's pretty neat. They're not that heavy. They're fairly thin, but they seem sturdy as all get out. All the edges are smooth. Like there's texture here, and there's texture here, but when you feel this, it's like gritty and rough, and you feel like it's almost like grainy, like sand. Whereas this is smooth, guys. This is like smooth as all get out. You know, it's cool. I mean, it works. It looks good, and I feel like it's gonna be functional. Like I said, once again, this one, maybe not the best for breeding, although I could see potentially some apistos breeding in there. It's got enough closed off areas, but just really freaking cool looking logs. I'm not sure if it goes like this, or like this, but I feel like you can kind of work with it either way. Let's see what else we got. Aquarium cave brown. Okay, I think this is one of the caves that I actually wanted to utilize for the breeding of apistos, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the one. No, this is not. Okay, no, different one. There's so many gosh darn products and caves here. Okay, this one, not only does it have a plastic, or not only has it a little styrofoam, it has some plastic wrap too. This one is a lighter color. This was more like a reddish look, almost looks like a lava rock kind of. To be honest, the look of this one personally doesn't appeal to me as much as this one per se. I guess it depends on the shape of the tank. I think this would look really good in a tank with like some lava rock perhaps. For functionality purposes, I'd probably prefer to use something like, I think this would be the best for, if you're actually trying just to breed, it would be this. If you're trying to breed but you want to look something like even more natural, I'd say this. This looks probably the most natural and you can get some breeding activity in it. If you're looking for just like a cool piece of scape, I think this is badass. And this is cool, but like I said, if I was, it's open-ended, kind of like this one. So I would definitely, my personal opinion, I like this log more than this cave. But like I said, that depends on your preferences in your tank. Let's take a look at this, another big one here, the snag. I'm excited to get these in the tanks. You'll definitely see some updates as I get them in these tanks over the next few weeks and months. I'll be talking about them. I'll let you guys know how the plecos have been enjoying the caves. I'm gonna try to breed some bristlenose plecos in this cave. I want to see kind of what works, how I can push the envelope, and really kind of dial it in. This is the snag. This is a very well packaged, which is important, man. Nothing worse than like ordering something online and then getting it and it's like broken or cracked and you have to return it. Even if they take care of you, that's great, but it just stinks when something comes in the mail broken. So kudos to them for, you know, individually boxing these things and making sure that, you know, they make the trip. It's a win-win. This is pretty cool. Yeah, this is really cool. I like the shape of it. I like the size of it. I like how kind of it's wide, but it's tight. It's got a few different ins and outs. This, I would not think this was fake. If this is in someone's tank, this legit looks real coming at you here. This is a pretty big piece. Just to give you an idea of the length of some of these things. This is over 9 inches. And let's see here. A few inches high, 4 or 5 inches high, something like that. Yeah, a little 4 or 5 inches high. Whereas this one, let's see here, 9 inches across, kind of like that. So this one's got some huge openings. Like that one's opening is what, 4 inches wide or so. Really cool stuff. And I don't have the prices offhand. I believe these all run somewhere around $20, $15 to $25, and that's before the 20% off. If you use the link in the description below, you get 20% off between now and December 10th. We got a few more products here. I'm gonna take all these products out, unbox them, and then we'll talk about them some more. That way we can speed it up a little bit. All right, so this one right here, this Cichlid stone, this is one I'm really excited about. This is what I want to try to use to breed the apistogrammas. If you take a look at it, it's a cichlid cave. It's got 2 openings, right? So less than this. I'm going to compare these two kind of directly. If you look at this, 3 openings compared to 2. 2 is probably better. 1 may be ideal. But once again, you know, something with less openings, you're trying to breed, give them security, give them a place to hang out. Even if you're not trying to breed stuff, just obviously a place to hide. This looks cool. This is smooth once again. It looks like a freaking normal stone. Like if you look at I'm sure it takes a lot more work to put together something like this than it does this, but this looks just as natural, if not more natural than this. Like the simplicity of a stone is like captured here, if that makes sense, right? I don't know. As you can see, functionality-wise, like I said, it's not rough, it's not gritty, it's smooth. It's about the same size, maybe slightly smaller, which is not a big deal. But this may be my favorite. I'm excited to put this to use. I'm a really big fan of things that look super natural, and all their products I think do a good job and look better than, you know, something like this that's clearly made as a watering spike and not even as a pleco cave, right? This I guess is a little better, like one step. It looks not as kind of just like out of place, but something like this literally looks like it came off the tree. These are nicest too. This is probably the next level, like a premium grade in terms of looks, but something like this and this look like legit, like real rocks. Let's take a look. This is the Big Daddy. I don't have any plecos that would fit this thing. This is monstrous. If you guys have any large plecos though, it's a beautiful cave. It's the same, looks like it's the same patterning as the smaller one. This is the small cave and the large cave. Let me take a look at what is it, 3 or 4 inch width cave. I like that it's D-shaped again. It looks like a 2.5 inch wide cave. So not even like a 3 or 4 inch cave, but it's beastly, guys. I wouldn't get this unless you have a pretty big pleco. This is the medium size, kind of a Goldilocks story. You know, too small, too big, and maybe just right. I actually like this. I'll think of it in, maybe this is a 2 inch maybe. Yeah, so this is a 2 inch. So it looks like they're making about 1.5, 2, and 2.5 inch openings. And then they significantly get longer and longer. This medium size, this is probably my favorite size. About 5 inches long, which is about the max size of a bristlenose pleco. I'm thinking that this is going to be the new standard for breeding the bristlenose, this medium size cave by Pleco Ceramics. Because, like I said, it's got the D shape, okay? It's got the length, it's got the similar color, and it looks more presentable. It looks nicer. So if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say that the bristlenose plecos are going to like this the most. But I'm really hoping to get them to breed in this also because I think it just looks really freaking badass. Let me see here. We got another box to go. Let's take a look at this Aquarium cave in gray. Okay, so this is essentially the same cave as this one. This is the brownish, reddish one. I think it's called brown, but as you can see, it's more of a reddish color. And that's another thing why it's nice to kind of play around with these, because I know that when I'm buying these, the colors are like chocolate, brick. They're not like brown, red. They're just kind of like weird names, and I'm not sure which is which, to be honest. They don't have them labeled properly. With these, you don't get a choice at all. With some of these, you don't get choices, but with this cave in particular, you can get gray or brown. Like I said, I think I like the gray better. There's something to be said about just like the simplicity of it. And once it gets in your tank, it's gonna get some algae. It's gonna look even more real, in my opinion, as it gets aged. I've got some work to do playing around with some of these. Really excited to test out some of these caves. Really hoping to get the pistos to breed. I love to utilize this, and gonna find homes for all of these decor. I think the clown loaches may enjoy this one right here. But big shout out to Pleco Ceramics. Don't forget, link in the description below for 20% off all the things you see here. Let me know down below what type of plecos you keep. If you've tried out these products before, if you had experience with them, I'm excited to get them wet and keep you guys updated on them. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. For me and my happy plecos and apistos, stay positive and stay passionate.